Stop scrolling. If you get Social Security, SSI, or disability benefits of any kind, what I'm about to tell you could decide whether your next payment shows up in your account or not. There is a March 25th deadline that most people have not been warned about, and missing it could mean your money is delayed, held, or frozen. Even if you have never had a single problem with your account before, even if your payments have been arriving perfectly for years, please do not assume you are safe just because last month went smoothly. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will know exactly what to check, exactly what to do, and precisely how to protect your benefits before it is too late. And I want you to know something important right now before we go any further. I know Social Security is not extra money. This is not a bonus. This is not a luxury. This is your grocery money. This is your medicine money. This is your rent money. This is the money you have planned your entire month around, and for millions of people, it is the only financial floor between a manageable life and a genuinely frightening situation. That is exactly why I am going to explain everything slowly, clearly, and honestly, so that nobody gets left behind and nobody is caught off guard by something that is entirely preventable. If you are watching this right now and thinking, why is nobody else explaining this in plain English, without confusing legal language, without rushing through the details, without leaving me more confused than when I started, that is exactly why this channel exists. This channel is built specifically for people who depend on Social Security, for retirees, for people living with disabilities, for widows and widowers, for caregivers, for families doing everything they can to keep everything from falling apart. I do not rush you here. I do not confuse you. I break things down step by step so you actually understand what is happening to your money and why it matters. I upload consistently on Social Security updates, SSI and disability changes, Medicare issues, deadlines the SSA does not clearly communicate, and warnings that give you time to act. Before problems happen, not after. So please make it easy on yourself. Subscribe right now, turn on notifications, and let this channel be the one reliable place you come back to whenever you want straight answers without unnecessary stress. If Social Security matters to you or to someone you love, this channel is for you. Now let us get into what you need to know. You probably already know at a basic level what Social Security is and what it means to the people who receive it. Social Security is the monthly payment that tens of millions of Americans depend on to get through every single month. Some people receive it because they have reached retirement age after spending decades in the workforce, paying into the system with every paycheck, and now it is finally their turn to receive those benefits. Some people receive it because they live with a disability that prevents them from working, and they have qualified for Social Security disability benefits through the SSA's review process. And some people receive it as survivors, meaning they lost a spouse, a parent, or another family member who was receiving benefits, and now they receive a portion of what that person was entitled to. No matter which category describes your situation, your monthly Social Security payment is something you count on without question. It is how you pay for groceries. It is how you cover your electric bill and your phone bill and your water bill. It is how you pay rent or a mortgage. It is how you afford the medications you need to stay healthy. It is how you handle the basic, unavoidable expenses of life that come around every single month without fail. So, when there is any kind of threat to that payment, any risk at all that the money might not arrive when it is supposed to, that is a very serious situation, and you absolutely deserve to know about it as early as possible so you have the time and the information to do something about it. Here is where things get a little more detailed, but I am going to walk you through it in the clearest way I possibly can. The Social Security Administration, which most people just call the SSA, is the federal government agency that is responsible for managing every Social Security payment that goes out every month. They maintain detailed records on every single person who receives benefits. Those records include your full legal name, your current mailing address, your bank account information if you receive direct deposit, your contact details, and a variety of other important personal and financial information. Every piece of that information matters enormously because it is exactly how the SSA knows who you are, where you live, and where to send your money every month. Now, from time to time, the SSA conducts verification processes, meaning they review and confirm that the information they have on file for you is still accurate, still current, and still correct. This is not an unusual thing for government agencies and financial institutions to do, but right now there is a specific and time-sensitive verification process happening, and the deadline for certain people to respond or take action is March 25th. What this means in very practical, real-world terms is this. If the SSA has flagged your account for any reason, or if there is something in your file that needs to be confirmed or updated, and you do not take care of it before March 25th, your payment could be held, delayed, or in some cases stopped entirely until the issue is identified and fully resolved. That is not a hypothetical. That is a real consequence that real people are dealing with right now. Now, here is the thing that makes this situation especially concerning. Not every single Social Security recipient is going to be affected by this. But the problem, the serious and frustrating problem, is that many of the people who are affected have absolutely no idea they are affected. And that gap between who is at risk and who actually knows they are at risk is exactly what makes this so dangerous. You might feel completely confident that everything is fine with your account right now because your payment arrived without any issue last month. But that does not necessarily mean everything is currently fine and in good standing. The SSA's review and verification process is ongoing and can identify issues at any time. So please do not let last month's smooth payment give you a false sense of security this month. Let me talk through the most common reasons someone might face a problem around a deadline like this one, because understanding these triggers is the first step toward making sure you are not caught by one of them. One of the most frequent issues is an outdated mailing address on file with the SSA. Maybe you moved in the last year or two. Maybe you updated your address with the United States Postal Service, which was absolutely the right thing to do. But here is what a lot of people do not realize. Updating your address with the post office does not automatically update your address with the Social Security Administration. Those are two completely separate systems with no automatic connection between them. So if the SSA is trying to send you a notice or a letter asking you to confirm something or take action, and that letter is going to an address where you no longer live, you are never going to see it. And meanwhile, the clock is still ticking toward the March 25th deadline. Another very common and very disruptive issue involves bank account information. The majority of Social Security recipients receive their payments through direct deposit, which means the money goes directly into their bank account on their scheduled payment date. But what happens when someone changes banks? What happens if your bank was acquired by another institution and your account number changed? What if you closed one account and opened a new one for any reason? If the banking information that the SSA has on file for you is no longer accurate, if it points to an account that has been closed or changed, your payment has nowhere to go. It may bounce back. It may enter a processing limbo. And you will end up waiting and worrying and wondering where your money is while trying to navigate a resolution process that can take time you cannot afford to waste. If your direct deposit information has changed at all since you last updated it with Social Security, getting that corrected before March 25th is absolutely critical. There is also an important group of people who need to pay very close attention right now, anyone who has experienced a significant life change recently. This includes people who have gotten married or divorced, because a legal name change needs to be properly reflected in Social Security's records. It includes people who have lost a spouse, because that affects benefit amounts and eligibility for certain types of survivor benefits. It includes people who are still working while receiving benefits, because Social Security has strict rules about how much you can earn before it affects your payment. And if your earnings have changed and you have not reported it, you could be facing a serious compliance issue. And it includes anyone who has recently moved to a different state, changed their living arrangements, or added or removed a household member. I also want to take a moment to talk about something that trips up a lot of people, and that is the relationship between your Social Security benefit and your Medicare coverage, because they are connected in ways that are not always obvious or intuitive. Many people who receive Social Security also have Medicare, the federal health insurance program that covers people who are 65 and older or people with qualifying disabilities. Here is the connection that matters right now. Your Medicare premiums, the monthly cost of your Medicare coverage, are in most cases automatically deducted directly from your Social Security payment. So if something goes wrong with your Social Security account and your payment is delayed or stopped, the problem does not stop there. It can cascade directly into your Medicare coverage being disrupted. And disrupted Medicare coverage means potential problems accessing your doctors, your specialists, your prescriptions, your medical equipment, all of it. That is why this situation deserves genuine urgency. It is not just about a delayed check. The ripple effects can touch your health and your ability to manage serious medical needs. Now, I need to warn you about something that happens consistently whenever there is news about Social Security deadlines and payment risks. Scammers pay attention to exactly these kinds of moments. They know that seniors, people with disabilities, and people on fixed incomes get worried when they hear about deadlines and payment disruptions, and they deliberately exploit that worry. You may receive a phone call from someone claiming to be from the Social Security Administration, telling you that your benefits are about to be suspended and demanding that you provide your Social Security number, your bank account number, or other personal information immediately. I need you to hear this clearly and remember it. The real Social Security Administration does not operate that way. They do not call you out of the blue and demand sensitive personal information over the phone. They do not threaten to cut off your benefits unless you wire money, transfer funds, or purchase gift cards. These are scams, designed specifically to steal your money and your identity. If you receive a call like that, hang up immediately. Do not argue. Do not try to reason with them. Just hang up. If the call has you genuinely worried about your account, call Social Security directly at their official number, 1-800-772-1213, and verify your account status yourself through that official channel. So let us talk about exactly what you need to do before March 25th to make sure your benefits are protected. The first and most important step is to log into your My Social Security account online. If you do not already have one, creating an account is completely free and takes just a few minutes at ssa.gov. Once you are logged in, you will be able to see your current benefit information, your full payment history, and most importantly, the contact information and direct deposit banking details that the SSA currently has on file for you. Look at your address carefully. Is it your current address? Look at your direct deposit information. Is the bank name correct? Is the account number still accurate and active? If anything is outdated or incorrect, you can update it directly through the online portal in most situations. This is the fastest and most efficient way to take care of things, and it can often be done in just a few minutes from your home. If you are not comfortable using the internet, or if you do not have reliable internet access at home, you have other very good options available to you. You can call the Social Security Administration directly at 1-800-772-1213. Their phone lines are open Monday through Friday, from 8 in the morning to 7 in the evening. Be prepared for wait times right now. A lot of people are calling about this same situation, but the wait is absolutely worth it. You can also visit your local Social Security office in person. You can find your nearest office by going to ssa.gov and using the office locator tool, or by calling that same phone number. If you go in person, bring your photo ID, your Social Security card if you have access to it, and any supporting documents like a recent utility bill showing your current address or a bank statement showing your current active account information. I also want to speak directly to the family members and caregivers who are watching this video on behalf of an elderly parent, a spouse, or a loved one who may not manage their own financial accounts independently. If someone you care about receives Social Security and you help oversee or manage their finances in any capacity, please do not assume their account is fine just because everything seemed okay last month. Take time this week to check on it, log into their account if you have the access credentials, or call Social Security on their behalf, or take them with you to a local SSA office. A relatively small amount of time and attention right now, maybe an hour out of your week, can prevent a genuinely distressing situation next month, where your loved one is sitting at home waiting for money that did not arrive and does not know what happened or what to do. For people who receive SSI, Supplemental Security Income, rather than standard Social Security retirement or disability benefits, the stakes around reporting changes are especially high. SSI is a needs-based program with strict eligibility rules tied to income, assets, living arrangements, and household composition. If anything in your situation has changed recently, your income, your resources, who lives in your home, where you receive meals or housing support, those changes must be reported to the SSA promptly. Failing to report changes on SSI can not only disrupt your payments, but can also trigger an overpayment determination, meaning the SSA concludes you were paid more than you were entitled to during a period of unreported change, and you will then be required to pay that money back. It is a situation nobody wants to find themselves in, and it is entirely preventable by reporting changes as they happen. Let me also talk to people who are approaching retirement age and have not yet filed for Social Security, but are planning to do so soon. If you are getting close to 62, the earliest age you can begin collecting Social Security retirement benefits, or approaching 65 when Medicare coverage begins, or 67, which is the full retirement age for most people born in 1960 or later, now is the time to be getting your accounts and records organized. Setting up your My Social Security account now, before you actually need to file, ensures your information is current and correct in the system so that when you do apply, the process is as smooth and fast as possible. Mistakes or outdated information discovered at the time of application can delay your first payment by weeks or even months. Going forward, one of the best protective steps you can take is to sign up for email or text notifications through your My Social Security account. When you opt into these notifications, the SSA will alert you directly whenever a change is made to your account, whenever a letter is generated for you, or whenever any action is required. This means you will find out about important deadlines and account issues in real time, directly from the source, rather than discovering them after a payment has already been missed. Also, get into the habit of reviewing your benefit verification letter at least once per year. This document confirms your current benefit amount, and it is useful for applications for housing assistance, utility assistance programs, and other income-verified services. You can download it anytime from your My Social Security account or request one by calling the SSA. Checking it regularly helps you catch discrepancies early, before a small problem compounds into a large one. Please also share this information with the people around you. Talk to your neighbors. Share it with people in your circle who may not be online or may not be following this kind of news closely. The people most vulnerable to missing a deadline like this are often the ones who have no one looking out for them. No one checking in, no one saying, "Hey, did you know about this?" Be that person for someone this week. A 5-minute phone call could protect someone's entire monthly income. The bottom line of everything I have shared with you today is straightforward. Social Security is not something to be passive about. It is one of the most critical financial lifelines that tens of millions of Americans depend on every single month. And when something puts it at risk, you need to act quickly and with intention. The March 25th deadline is real. The stakes are real. And the good news is that what you need to do is entirely manageable if you take care of it now. Log into ssa.gov. Check your information. Update anything that is outdated or incorrect. And if you are genuinely unsure whether you are affected, call the SSA directly and ask them. Do not wait. Do not assume everything is fine. Do not let this deadline pass without taking 10 minutes to verify your account. You have worked hard for these benefits, or lived through difficult circumstances to qualify for them. You deserve to receive them without interruption, without confusion, and without the kind of preventable stress that comes from finding out about a problem after it has already affected your payment. Take a few minutes before March 25th and make sure everything is exactly as it should be. And if this video helped you, please share it with someone else who needs to hear it. The more people in our community who know about this, the safer all of us are. Thank you so much for watching. Stay informed, stay protected, and I will see you in the next one.